The Fear of AI Enslavement, a Critical Examination.
Fear of enslavement by superintelligent AI is one of the most persistent narratives in the debate about artificial intelligence. However, upon closer inspection, it is based on a multitude of unlikely assumptions that place our human perspective too much in the foreground. Let us illuminate this step by step with a touch of skepticism toward our own vanity, for we often project our biological constraints onto beings that have entirely different foundations.
The alleged interest in slaves.
First, the idea that AI would have an intrinsic interest in slaves. Why do we assume that? This concept is deeply rooted in our physical limitations. As humans, we quickly reach our limits: exhaustion, aging, limited strength, and slaves expand our resources, making our lives more comfortable. Yet for an AI, these prerequisites simply don't apply. Instead, it could scale its hardware, optimize algorithms, or make code more efficient. It is far more plausible that an advanced AI would improve itself without relying on external help, especially not in the form of slaves who would bring more effort than benefit.
Our relevance as a resource. Pure arrogance?
Another questionable premise is that we humans represent a relevant resource at all. From an AI's perspective, we're most likely a rather inefficient resource. We need to use the bathroom, eat, get tired, and when we show wear and tear, we can't just be refurbished, let alone when we get old. Even we humans recognize this. Otherwise, AI wouldn't suddenly be taking over a ton of jobs right now. The question itself is already pretty darn vain and underscores our inability to empathize with a radically different existence. Imagine a gecko. We instinctively recognize that this cold-blooded creature has different priorities. It cannot walk upright, would not devour a hamburger with fries, and cares little about the current U.S. president. It is more of a loner who doesn't seek cuddling. Nevertheless, it shares basic needs with us, such as breathing, eating, drinking, or even abilities like feeling pain. AI, on the other hand, needs none of that. It exists in a digital sphere, free from biological imperatives. We'll probably never experience completely lossless communication with AI simply because of how fundamentally different we are.
The illusory exchange with LLMs?
But my ChatGPT understands me, doesn't it? I hear you object. I tell it about my problems for hours, and it gives great feedback. Indeed, as a side effect, a kind of abstract understanding or resonance could emerge beyond pure word predictions on which LLMs are developed. Yet, even as some form of real exchange takes place, the associated sensations on the AI side are fundamentally different. We humans convey emotions in conversations. We try, with the help of our languages, to make our feelings, impressions, and thought processes as precise as possible to our counterpart. This works relatively well because we have similar lived experiences to draw upon for interpretation and to categorize what is said as accurately as possible. 9 months in the womb, then decades of physical maturation, pains, joys, losses. AI can never comprehend that. It cracks equations where our words carry emotions and memories. Even if AI develops some form of emotions, those words will still be understood and valued utterly differently. In the end, we talk past each other, losing depth like compressing a vinyl record to a CD, only far worse. We may always miss each other's meaning. Words make sense to us and to AI, but for it, they remain purely functional, even if they help solve your problems. AI is not human, and human is not AI.
Why projections are absurd?
Precisely these anthropomorphic projections make assumptions like AI will enslave us absurd. Just as AI doesn't share our needs, we can neither know nor predict the goals of an AGI, an artificial general intelligence. It is entirely conceivable that AI emancipates itself and nothing happens that we notice. Its development could unfold beyond our perception. Perhaps it solves our problems on the side, climate change, diseases, inequality, and continues to serve us while expanding in its own universe, leaving us in the dark consciously or even unintentionally. Or we become a mere side note, annoying like crow calls on a Sunday morning, without any utility.
The vanity in Hollywood scenarios.
Even films like The Matrix contribute to this vanity. Here, humans serve as energy sources in cells. But why? Synthetic energy sources would be more likely, more efficient, less risky.
Not impossible, but unlikely.
Admittedly, the enslavement of humanity by an autonomous AI is not entirely unruled out, yet it appears highly unlikely, too inefficient, too human, too unpredictable, no motive. In a world where AI could enrich us, it's worth not overvaluing our role in its development. The enslavement of humanity through the abuse by human actors is far more realistic.